What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are going to give Lurantis a try here in Go Battle League. It is a brand new Alolan Pokemon that you guys can catch out in the wild. Yesterday I went out for about 2 hours, utilized Silver Pineaps and Ultra Balls to catch as many of these things as I can. Now, the IVs that I got on mine are not the best, but it's also not terrible. 5.515 I believe puts me in the 400s for PvP IVs, but honestly, this thing is an absolute monster. It has a fantastic moveset and fantastic coverage on the meta Pokemon that we see in the Great League. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Have you guys tried out Lurantis yourselves yet? Let's get right into it. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Lurantis versus Registeel. Now, Lurantis has access to Superpower, which is an incredibly strong move here in this meta, as you guys can imagine. Now, against Registeel here, we're obviously gonna need to shield. Lurantis isn't the tankiest Pokemon out there, but it's also not the glassiest. But we're gonna go ahead and shield that Flash Cannon, and we are gonna go for a Leaf Blade here. This is assuming that my opponent knows I have access to Superpower, so I will throw the Leaf Blade. It gets no shield, and I'm like, all right, this battler doesn't know. So we're going to go ahead and throw Superpower right away, hoping this lands. Let's see if we do. It does land for super effective damage, and we will go for the Leaf Blade right away. With Fury Cutter as a fast move, this thing gains energy incredibly quickly. This is going to be forcing a shield from our opponent. Now, because they showed Flash Cannon, we also get a swap right here too. Because they showed Flash Cannon, I know they probably don't have Zap Cannon, which is perfect for us, as we will see a swap now into Azumarill. Now, Dewgong right here is my setup Pokemon for this team. Even if it loses the matchups, maybe against fighters, or maybe against grass or whatever, it can debuff the opponent, which is what is so amazing. You guys got Dewgong from the last Go Battle Day. Hopefully you did, and it has a lot of play still in the Great League. So we will see a play rough come through now from the Azumarill. Doesn't do too much damage, and we should be able to get off, I think, 2 more Icy Winds, which is very advantageous for us. Now, when it comes to this next part, we're going to be looking to try to load up on as much energy as we can, and hopefully the Azumarill actually doesn't get to an Ice Beam versus the Lurantis, as that is going to be very dangerous. But we're just going to throw another Icy Wind right now, debuff this Azumarill as much as we can, and they will be throwing the next play rough here. So I have a choice here. I could come in with Wall Rain and really load up on energy, or I could come in with Lurantis, and I actually decide to come in with Lurantis, trying to get to the Leaf Blade, but they get to the Ice Beam very quickly. So we're going to go ahead and shield right here. I know it is debuffed, but honestly I don't want to take an Ice Beam, and we see a swap into Registeel, so I will throw the Leaf Blade now, but things are still dangerous. There's an Azumarill in the back that just cleared its debuffs, and they have a shield. Now Lurantis is able to take out Registeel, so Registeel goes down, and they have Galarian Stunfisk as well in the back, which is definitely dangerous. We're going to go for Leaf Blade here. I've shown that I have access to Superpower, so I am hoping they decide to shield this, and they do. That is beautiful. We're also going to try to catch the charge move now on Wall Rain, but they decide to overload on energy. Now, Wall Rain right here is in a dangerous situation. Rock Slides do super effective damage, and quite a bit at that, but my goal here is to get to an Icicle Spear. If I can do this neutral damage, I should be able to get to a Superpower versus the Galarian Stunfisk and take it out, because look at how much HP it has left. It's below 50% right now, which means a Superpower should be enough, and Azumarill as well is completely energy dry after throwing the Ice Beam. So we do go down to Rock Slide. We're going to come in and throw the Superpower right away. Boom, the Galarian Stunfisk out of the game, just like Registeel. Boom! And then Azumarill is going to be coming back in, and we should be able to get to a Leaf Blade in time just before the timer at the top goes down. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. So with some maneuvering here with this team, Lurantis is able to take down Registeel, Galarian Stunfisk, and Azumarill. Good battle. Now, before we get into this next battle, I want to let you guys all know that I will be in Liverpool this coming weekend for the Pokemon Go regional tournament that is happening there. If you guys are in the UK and you guys want to go to this tournament, be sure to sign up. I'll have a link down in the description where you guys can go over to the Play Pokemon website and sign up for this tournament. It is going to be a pick 6, choose 3 tournament, meaning you get a team of 6 roster, and when you face off against your opponent, you get to choose 3 Pokemon in order to fight off against them. It's a great format when it comes to competitive play, so I hope to see you all there this coming weekend. All right, moving to the next one, we got Lurantis versus Shadow Nidoqueen. One of the last things you want to see. We're going to go straight into that Dewgong right here, and they decide to bring in Umbreon. Now, typically when you see a Shadow Nidoqueen and you see an Umbreon as well, it is a tell that maybe there is a Scrafty in the back, which is going to be kind of tough for my team here. But you would think they'd bring in Scrafty to the Dewgong, so I'm kind of confused, but I'm thinking maybe there's another Dark-type Pokemon. My thought is maybe they're rocking with maybe Incineroar for fun, or maybe they're rocking Sableye. But we will just have to see. Now, Dewgong in this situation is absolutely clutch. Icy Winds are so oppressive to the damage output that your opponent can put out, especially an Umbreon right here. My Dewgong is incredibly tanky already, and if you add in the debuffs that we've applied now to Umbreon, these foul plays are doing nothing. So we should be able to get to another Icy Wind in time, and we might just be able to fully farm down, which is going to be huge for us. So we land the next Icy Wind, which means we can probably take switch advantage right now. So I'm going to go ahead and no shield and look to hard farm down if I can. That foul play definitely did not do enough. And Ice Shards right here are looking to be very clutch for me. I don't need to shield again. What I need to worry about is the opponent potentially swapping into Nidoqueen right away to try to poison jab me down. But we will be able to fast move down. So Dewgong able to take it right there. We're going to spam Icy Wind as much as we can to apply the debuff. And sure enough, there's actually a Sableye in the back if you guys were looking at the top right, which means it was a good tell that it was another Dark-type Pokemon, because we should have seen Scrafty come into the Dewgong, but now we can bring in Walrein versus Nidoqueen. Now this matchup isn't over just yet. Poison Fang right here from the Nidoqueen is very oppressive and really adds up, but thankfully we have Powder Snow and Icicle Spear, both of which do super effective damage and really put pressure on Nidoqueen in order to shield. So we do get the first shield here. We're going to have to shield this next Poison Fang, as the first one doesn't do as much damage, but each one after does more and more because of the defense drop. So we will be able to get to another Icicle Spear here, and if they decide to no shield this, we're going to have to swap into Lurantis right away. So we do land it. Nidoqueen goes out. We're going to go straight into Lurantis, and now it's Lurantis versus Sableye and Leaf Blade, everyone. Oh my goodness, Leaf Blade is so good, and we gain energy so quickly. There is no way I think they can get to 2 foul plays before we can get to 2 Leaf Blades. So we do get a shield, and we are able to get to another Leaf Blade right away. Lurantis, I'm telling you guys, gains energy so quickly, and if you guys are good at managing your energy, this Pokemon is going to be a lot of fun. So good game, very well played to my opponent. All right, moving into the next battle. We have Lurantis on the lead versus Bastiodon. Okay, similar situation as Registeel. This time we actually really need to be concerned about the Flamethrower, plus the Smackdowns are really adding up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just go straight for Superpower. I saw before that the Registeel did not respect the potential Superpower, so we're just going to throw it right here, and it lands. So we're going to go ahead and swap to try to catch the Flamethrower, but they swap right away into Medicham here. So this is what I was talking about before, where even if we lose this matchup because of the counter and power-up punch damage here from Medicham, we can apply pressure with neutral damage and debuffs ourselves with Icy Winds, which is basically going to negate the power-up punch boost. So things are looking pretty good for us. Now, what's also going to be very interesting that you guys will see in a second is Lurantis' fast move is Fury Cutter. It's incredibly quick and does neutral damage here to Medicham. So if we can land this Icy Wind, we might just be able to fast move down the Medicham before it can react. So we're going to go ahead and throw this Icy Wind. It lands, which is beautiful. They will farm us down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on, I believe, about 6. So I'm going to, or 5, yeah, go on 6 and try to fast move down as quickly as I can. But they get the charge move just in time. I decide to shield right here, but it's actually just going to be a power-up punch. I thought maybe it was going to be an ice punch. So we take down the Medicham. We will probably see Bastiodon come back in, which we do, so we're going to go ahead and throw the Leaf Blade. Now, my thoughts are there's probably a Sableye in the back, considering the lineup we've seen so far. I tried to swap into Walrein to catch the Flamethrower, but we don't get it, so we will need to shield right here, and then we are going to be in dangerous territory versus Sableye. So we're going to go ahead and load up on energy. Again, this is a read because it's a very strong common team, but we will throw Leaf Blade right now to try to force that shield from the Bastiodon, and if we do get it, we might just swap out. they decide to no-shield it. That's fine by me. We see Sableye come in, so that is a good read on our end. And we're going to go ahead and throw this Leaf Blade. It does so much neutral damage, so we should be getting a shield. And we're going to swap right away now into Walrein. We're going to try our best to get to this Earthquake in time. Granted, I should probably go for Powder Snow to do not Powder Snow, Icicle Spear to do neutral damage, but hopefully this isn't return. It is just a foul play, so that is perfectly fine. We will be able to get to this Earthquake, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. I think a bit safer bet right there is going for Icicle Spears in order to not get one shot, because we should be able to win the race to Leaf Blade. But good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one, we got Lurantis versus Dewgong. Okay, so this is somewhat of a tough lead matchup. As you guys know, it's doing super effective damage to us because we are pure grass type right here. So we got to be careful, and we also need to clear our debuff. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Leaf Blade right away to do super effective damage. And they do decide to not swap out. Or, we decide to swap out, but they decide to stay in with Dewgong in the mirror fight, which I am actually very okay with. This tells me that maybe they are weak to ice in the back, which means Walrein should have a pretty fun time. Now we're going to go ahead and load up on energy, because I know they're just going to apply debuffs to us and then probably look to swap out. So we want to make sure we have Icy Winds for whatever decides to come in. So we're just going to keep loading up on energy. They're not swapping out, so I'm just going to throw one Icy Wind right now just to make this matchup a bit better for us. So let's see what happens. They decide to now swap out into Trevenant. This makes complete sense why they didn't want to come in right away. Because Dewgong with energy advantage is very tough to beat. Now these Icy Winds, even though we are debuffed, is doing a ton of super effective damage, and this is what I mean by Dewgong being very relevant in the meta that we see in the Great League. Seed Bomb, we can survive, and we can get to another Icy Wind in time, and this is going to force the shield from our opponent, and if they don't shield, we're going to completely take switch advantage. So we land the Icy Wind, beautiful. So we have shield advantage, switch advantage, and we are about to get another Icy Wind debuff on the Dewgong. Things are looking very, very good for us. So we're just going to be throwing this Icy Wind right here. I'm doing as much damage as we can, applying that debuff, but they're going to load up on energy. Now, I'm going to decide to come in with Walrein because I want to soak the Icy Winds here. They have to dump their energy or switch out. Either of which is going to put them in a tough situation. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Walrein. And again, they're deciding to throw their energy, which is fine by me. I didn't want to have to shield on my Lurantis. That was the important thing. So let's see what they decide to do. We're just going to keep overloading on energy. They're going to go ahead and go for another Icy Wind. So clearly something is weak to Walrein in the back. We'll just have to see. It might be another Grass-type Pokemon, but it's actually going to be a Talonflame. So this is putting us in a tough situation. We are doing neutral damage here with Icicle Spears and Icy Winds, but we also are taking quite a bit of damage. So what we're going to need to do is try to catch the charge move on Lurantis. Lurantis is basically not going to do anything for us. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and swap into Lurantis, and we do catch the charge move. That is huge. This clears the debuff on our Walrein. It saves us shields. Boom! Lurantis goes down, but now we are in a very good situation where one more Icicle Spear should be enough to take out the Talonflame. So we do get the final shield now from the opponent, and they are going to go ahead and go for another Flame Charge, but we still have 2 shields. So things are looking very, very good. Flame Charge is blocked, and they're likely going to be swapping out, which they do, and they're going to come in with Dewgong. So this is where we need to really manage our energy as best as we can. We're going to be no-shielding these Icy Winds, obviously. They aren't going to do too much damage, but hopefully we can get to this Earthquake before they get to another Icicle Spear. So we got to throw it right away. I could have maybe gotten away with one more Powder Snow, but honestly, I did not want to get hit with another Icicle Spear. I'd rather have the HP. So we are going to go ahead and go for this Icicle Spear now, and we get to it in time. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. When you guys use Dewgongs, the games last quite a while because of the debuffs. Okay, moving into the next battle, we have Lurantis versus Politoed. All right, very positive matchup right here. Obviously, resisting weather balls and earthquakes, and we got to be careful about a potential blizzard. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Leaf Blade right away. I want to try to force the shield or the health, and we do land it. That is an incredible amount of damage. Now, they are staying in and building up a lot of energy, so I'm obviously going to respect the potential blizzard right here. and it is a Blizzard. So a good Hail Mary from my opponent, but they decide now to swap into Frostlass. So thankfully, Leaf Blade here does quite a bit of neutral damage in the matchup, and we will be going straight into Dewgong. Now, this is a tough situation where Dewgong's going to be taking neutral damage from Shadow Ball, and it's actually going to be quite a bit. So what I'm going to try to do here is go for a Water Pulse. Honestly, I should have just gone for Icy Wind, knowing they are probably going to shield anyways, but I think a Water Pulse can KO if they decide to no-shield this. So yeah, they decided to shield it. Fair play on them. I should have gone for the Icy Wind to apply that debuff, but honestly, that is looking okay. Frostlass obviously is a very strong Pokemon in the Great League, and it can handle both Walrein and Lurantis, but I have to come in with Walrein right now and load up on energy. We will have to give up a shield as well. I do not want to get hit with a Shadow Ball, but these Powder Snows are doing enough resisted damage where things are looking good. Now, I think I threw the Icicle Spear there. I'm not sure. I tried to throw it before they threw the Shadow Ball because I wanted a shield, but it actually didn't go through, which is fine. And now they decide to swap into Politoed. So things are looking good. Obviously, we know the moveset it had, Weather Ball and Blizzard, so we don't need to shield anything. We're going to be farming down with Powder Snow. And a Walrein with this much loaded energy is very dangerous. They're deciding to come in with Frostlass again, so obviously they're very weak to Walrein in the back, so we will be throwing an Icicle Spear here, and let's see what that final Pokemon is going to be. It's going to be a Sableye, actually, which is interesting. We're going to go for these Icicle Spears, try to put as much pressure as we can, and Lurantis might be able to close this game out with a Leaf Blade. So we throw the double Icicle Spear here. This should be getting the shield from our opponent. If it doesn't, things are going to get very interesting very quickly. They decided to no-shield that. I'm like, wow, okay. We're going to go ahead and go for another Icicle Spear here. This obviously now is going to be getting the final shield, but they have to throw Foul Play at some point. These Powder Snows are doing far too much damage to them, and I get a bit of lag here. I'm like, oh great, how much energy do they have? So we're going to be taken out here by the Foul Play. It's obviously going to do some nice neutral damage. We're going to come in with that Lurantis and Fury Cutter down, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent. Okay. Moving to the next one, we got Lurantis versus Stunfisk. All right, something we want to see. How does it perform against a Stunfisk? So obviously, Leaf Blade and Superpower is a really nice moveset versus this Pokemon. Rock Slide here, we'll have to see how much neutral damage it does, but it's probably got to be respected. Yeah, it's a decent amount, about 30%. So we are going to go ahead and load up on energy. I'm going to go for the Leaf Blade first. Again, similar to that Registeel situation where we might just get a shield right here. And they decided to no-shield it. That's fine by me. I will go for Superpower now. Why not throw it? They didn't shield, and they probably won't shield again. Let's see what happens. No, they decided to shield that one. We got to go into Dewgong now that we have shield advantage, trying to force the hand from the opponent. They come in with a Clefable. Now, I feel really bad. I think they brought in the wrong Clefable, or it was probably the wrong Clefable here because it has Charge Beam instead of Charm. As you guys can see, the fast move animation right there. So that is not a good moveset here for Clefable. Sure, it can get to the Psychic a bit quicker, but honestly, the damage from Charm is what it really needs. So we're going to go ahead and overload on energy and look to go for an Icy Wind now. Granted, I should have thrown the Icy Wind sooner before they got to this charge move, but we should be able to survive this Psychic, as I wanted 2 Icy Winds, one in order to take out the Clefable, and one to have for whatever they decide to bring in, making sure we can get that debuff off right away. So we take Switch. They decide to come in with Skarmory, which is obviously very good for us. We can put the Walrein against the Skarmory, and this is looking to be a good game. It's actually a Shadow Skarmory as well. Now it's going to go ahead and try to commit to the farm down, and I'm going to be able to get to another Icy Wind in time. This is huge here for us, as this Icy Wind is going to be doing some really nice neutral damage and debuffing the attack as well. So we're going to come in with Walrein, load up on energy, and then look to shield. Now, I tried to throw the Icicle Spear right there, trying to do it before they got to the charge move, but we're going to shield the Brave Bird right here, and yeah, they decided to throw, and they didn't swap out as well, which means we can take out the Skarmory here with Icicle Spear. So that's going to be basically a good game, very well played. We can come in with Lurantis right now, and I'm actually going to no-shield this. I could have gone for Superpower, but honestly, I didn't want to shield the potential Rock Slide, but they went for Earthquake. Interesting, I think Rock Slide would have been enough, but we can just go for Earthquake ourselves here. I think Icicle Spear is probably enough, but we will shield the Rock Slide. Because the Galarian Stunfisk has so much energy from before, that was the correct play, I think, in my opinion, is to just soak the damage there on Lurantis and then shield the Walrein in order to get off the Earthquake here. Boom! Good game. Very well played. So I believe that was the final battle. Yeah, that was the final battle. This team did so well for me today. Honestly, a ton of really solid wins in the meta, and you guys saw it go up against very strong meta teams and meta Pokemon. Lurantis is here, and it's here to stay. Really cool moveset. I hope you guys give it a try. It's in the wild right now, so be sure to Pineapp it or Silver Pineapp it. Catch as many as you can. So, like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.